Hello everyone and welcome to Football Manager 2021. The game's beta has just been released and we have early access here as we take on Newcastle United in the annual first save of each new game. You can see I've kicked off the new game. I thought I'd save you the pleasantries. I'm a handsome looking man in this picture with white glasses, which is a bold way to go, but we are starting with a salary of £43,000 a year, an extra a week, sorry, much better than a year. But you can see the club is in a pretty difficult place at the moment. 13th in the league last season, very rarely get past the third round of the FA Cup. Carabao Cup very rarely goes much better, but we have a fantastic stadium, we have average facilities, and we have stuff we can do to get out of this media prediction of 18th. Obviously, our first season, we're going to try and avoid relegation if we can and then go from there. But with Callum Wilson leading the line, we've got a great chance. We've got the Longstaff brothers as well. Ryan Fraser's a new signing come in. And then we have the classic defenders that have probably been there for a few years now. Jamal Lewis coming in at left back's a fantastic one. Lots of players out on loan at the moment as well. Quite a bit of deadwood in the squad that we'd probably want to get rid of. They don't want to sign old players, which is fine. I'll develop youth players if they're available, sign players to sell for a profit. And it's what we do. That's the bread and butter of a football manager. Work within wage budget. Everything else is fine. Avoid relegation is the lowest pretty much of the available places, available goals we could get. And you can see become self-sustainable in the finance. Doesn't look like Mike Ashley's going to be pumping his billions in soon. I hate the press. I hate the intra-squad friendly. And I do not need a backroom advice report. So if we just save this game, we can get it running. And here you go, the new screen. Not an awful lot of difference here. We've obviously got the tactical direction, which I'll look to use. I'll probably be using the same tactic I used in my last series on FM 2020, so I will be trying to load that in shortly and I'll let you see what that looks like. I am not a build your own tactic kind of manager. I am what they call a basic football manager, but generally I hate the press in Football Manager. That's not going to change this year. I don't care what they've done to improve it. I am not meeting the press. But you can see the squad looks pretty good. Quite a lot of players in it is the first thing I notice. Going to have to change up some of these filters so we get the right information appearing. I hear happiness is a big part of the game this season, so we're going to have to be very careful how we manage the happiness of the players, but at the moment everybody looks reasonably happy. We will sort the tactics out. I don't think I can load the existing ones in yet, but we will. Team report, if we look at the squad depth, we will be playing at something reasonably similar to a 4-4-2, so it looks like we have decent squad depth. Staff probably going to throw out quite a lot of these. Let's have a look at Steve Agnew. I judge my assistant managers on our ability to judge our players, so 13-13 is not going to cut the mustard, Steve Agnew, so he will definitely be on his way out soon. And then in the transfer screen we have 16 million, so I can probably stretch that out to 60 million with a bit of luck, but that wage budget will be a problem. People need to leave seems to be the answer, so I don't know how much transfer activity there will be in the first season. Some attractive little kits there. Obviously we don't have logos or anything similar loaded up, and generally everything else looks pretty standard. Accidentally just clicked the report bug thing, so I don't think you would have seen me get a pop-up to go and look at my web browser. But if we look at the schedule, a few friendlies to get out of the way, and then we'll be taking on Spurs in our first game of the season. You'll see that they have got the rights to Leicester this year, which builds on their rights to Watford from before. But Leicester, the only Premier League club that they have the rights to, so logo packs should help us out with some of the others to come. I'm not sure how long it will take me in this series to get those logo packs loaded in. It depends on what's available and when. But what we're going to do in this first episode is get the team set up, get a new tactic set up, start to go through some of the transfers, and then play the first game of the new season. But obviously if you're new to the channel for this new season, do drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel as well, because we'll have lots of experiments and lots of episodes in this series, hopefully, to come. But let me just go ahead, do some of the admin, and I'll catch up with you in just a second. Well, we are now through the start of pre-season. We're at the first game of the season against Tottenham Hotspur, but of course we have some things to talk about first. And if we have a look at the transfer screen, you can see I'm trying to get rid of DeAndre Yedlin. The team was full of right backs and left midfielders, which is really, really weird. But we have managed to get quite a few players out of the club. If we have a look here, Federico Fernandez is one that I sold. He's gone for 5.75 million out to Dynamo Moscow. I think we made a good amount of money on him. He may well have been a decent option in centre back, but we didn't need the 5 that we had, given I was looking to bring in at least one really good centre back to strengthen the team. Javi Manquillo has gone for 5.25 million, maybe a little bit undercut on him. But again, too many right backs. Christian Atsu, one of the left wingers, to go for 4.1 million. He was never really going to get in. We play an inverted winger on the left, so he wouldn't play there. And Henry Saive, who I sell every year in Football Manager and have no idea why he's still on the books at the club, has also gone. He's just nowhere near good enough to get into the team. Quite a few other players leaving. Mikel Merino obviously left in real life, so not one of my sales. But we have brought some players in. Well, we've brought 2 players in, and the first is the classic Odsonne Edouard. He has been brought in for £31 million. He's on 100 grand a week, mainly because he can play that advanced forward role so well. He can also play the false 9 role. So he's just an excellent striker, 17 finishing. Even if he doesn't score 30 goals for us, he is going to sell for a massive profit. Someone will come in for a huge bid. We've also raided Ajax for Edson Alvarez. He's a £30-odd million player coming in. He can play in wing back, but he is a central defender, a ball playing defender, libero, no nonsense, and a central defender. He can do it all. And he's just a really good, solid centre-back to bring in, who's young, he can develop, and he will sell for a big profit. So they're the 2 players that I brought in for a combined 60 million. Adding to the likes of Callum Wilson, Jamal Lewis, and Rodrigo Avlica, who I'm very excited for. He looks like he's got a bright future ahead of him, plays in the winger role as well, so we might get some good use out of him. And it means I'm actually pretty happy with the squad. Now, you know, all things being relative, there's nobody in here who's going to set the world alight. But Callum Wilson and Odsonne Edouard up top are going to be a potent attack. Odsonne Edouard can put the false 9 role to use, with Callum Wilson playing as the out-and-out advanced forward. And with a 17 finishing in Edouard and 16 finishing on Callum Wilson, he's got pace to burn as well. That is extremely dangerous. Almiron and Saint-Maximin available on the wings. The Longstaff boys in the middle with John Joe Shelby and Hayden available. Hendrick can play there. And now we've brought Alvarez in to partner Lascelles. We've got decent left back with Jamal Lewis. Decent right back options with Kraft. Alvarez can play there as well. We're just in a fantastic position. There's no doubt about it. This team's going to be good. Darlow and Dubravka, both good goalkeepers, so we are in an excellent place. Now if we have a look at how we're setting up for this Spurs game, you can see the tactic here. We're playing with Wilson in the advanced forward role, Edouard in the false 9 role. Saint-Maximin starts on the left with Fraser out on the right. We do have some injuries today, which is limited selection, so Gale's out injured, he can play the false 9. Murphy's out, probably wouldn't get in the team, but Matty Longstaff, Crafts is out. Dubravka's out as well. Almiron could play, but he's not in the best of condition at the moment. So we're going to have Hayden and Sean Longstaff in the middle. We've also got in defence Lewis, Dummett, Lascelles and Alvarez making up the back 4. The good thing about Alvarez is he can play in that right back role. Darlow is going to be the number 1 today because Dubravka with that injury. I just want to quickly first show you how pre-season went, and the answer is not well. We started off with a nice 2-0 win, Wilson and Joe Linton getting the goals, but then a defeat to Feyenoord 1-0, a 2-2 draw with Ardo Den Haag, wasn't ideal, and then a 1-0 defeat to Mallorca, also hitting us hard, a 2-2 draw with Ferreira as well. games we should be winning, we weren't winning. So I'm a little bit nervous going into this Spurs match about how we're going to do. But we are just going to jump into it and see if we can get the win. Obviously, you always, even though I've put in that I'm an experienced player, they always give you the little introduction here. I'm not sure I need all of these briefings all the time. I might toggle these on and off. They are being super interactive, making it seem like you're actually in team meetings and everything else. I'm not going to go in strong on Harry Kane. I quite like this little team sheet though, so if you've got the match day programme, this is quite nice. So you can see how Spurs are lining up. It's a dangerous team. Bale, Son and Kane all available from the start. That is going to be difficult. They're a much, much stronger team than we are. More of these tips to work our way through. I'm not sure I need all this. This is very tiring. But this is where we finally get to throw the water bottle and everything else. Right, what are we going to say to the team? We're going to talk to individuals, are we? Apparently. Let's pump fists and say, I have faith in you. Get out there, boys. Now kick off. Finally, we get to see the new match engine. The game has kicked off in that top left. This is all very, very new. I might actually have to pause this at some point. We're not going to play a short passing play. That's not going to go well. You can see down here at the bottom as well, you've got all the conditions of your individual players. Wilson's starting out quite well. We've got the expected goals as well, and at the moment we are kind of dominating the game. 2 shots, 1 on target. It's a good way to go. Just waiting to see. You've got little visualizers in the middle as well. We get information coming into the dugout from the other matches. But at the moment, here's our first highlight. Alvarez with the throw. This is not a great time to put up a little help tool here. I don't know why this is coming up if I've put I'm an experienced player, but anyway, I might use this as an opportunity to just fix the camera settings a little bit. There we go. Maybe a little bit more height on the camera. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think that's about right, isn't it, for a good view? You can see I've turned the player names on, but that might get a little bit cluttered in situations like this. But let's have a little look. So the ball's gone in. It's cleared out to Alvarez again. He whips it in. Dyer away. And this is where they can hit us. It's Son. He's got Kane up there. Bale's out on the right as Son charges into the box. And Hayden with the tackle. Is that a penalty? He's going to VAR. Of course, the first goal, or the first chance, first highlight of Football Manager 2021 has to be VAR. You can see they've got fans in the stadium as we get a penalty review here. What's the referee going to say has happened? No penalty. Excellent decision, referee. Fantastic decision there. In Football Manager 2020, every VAR decision on key highlights led to a penalty or a goal, but at the moment we are dominating this game. Absolutely dominating it. 60% possession as well. Carl Darlow starts us off out to Lascelles. He plays it down to Alvarez on that right flank. Down the line to Ryan Fraser. Might be a ball in behind here for him. He's taking it down the byline. Beats Højbjerg. Davies fronting him up. It's blocked off and Ben Davies now can launch it forward. We need to get there first, and we do. Jamal Lascelles doing well to keep that ball in. Finds Sean Longstaff. Now Fraser pushes it forward. Wilson in behind the defender. Keeps it at the byline. Back to Alvarez. Ball across. Hayden unmarked. And Isaac Hayden gets our rain off to the perfect start with a beautiful header from the penalty spot past the goalkeeper. Wonderful stuff. Wilson there doing well to keep the ball in. It was a good run. But Alvarez, a new signing, finds an unmarked Isaac Hayden with a beauty of a ball, which he nods into the back of the net, and we have a 1-0 lead against Tottenham Hotspur in our first game. This is absolutely what we want to see. Højbjerg now on the attack for Spurs. Comes to Dele Alli. Doherty on the right flank. That is an excellent goal by Matt Doherty. Maybe he could have been closed down a little bit better, but that's a rocket. When you've got Gareth Bale on that right flank, you're not worrying about Matt Doherty. Lewis ran with Bale, but it left the space open for Matt Doherty to charge forward and get a debut goal for his new club. So it's 1-1 now after 36 minutes. We're expecting some high-scoring games, to be fair. Fraser cutting inside, comes out to Sean Longstaff, out to Alvarez. Ball in, and it's just cleared out by Alderweireld there. Comes to Lascelles. At the moment, it's a very tightly sort of managed game. We are still in control of possession. We're still getting the shots and everything else. Lascelles with the ball forward gives it away to Doherty. Spurs on the attack with Gareth Bale, who switched the flank. Love seeing Son that deep. That's where we want him, but he's running forward now, and Davies can play it in behind to him. Instead he goes to the middle for Dele Alli. Højbjerg does find Son. Now Harry Kane, well cut out, but only given straight back to the Spurs team, and Dele Alli charging forward. He's put it over the top. So at the moment the team doing pretty well. A 1-1 draw with Spurs would not be the worst situation, but you can see we are dominating the expected goals at the moment. It's currently 1-1, so maybe we just need to turn that edge on a little bit. Spurs maybe a little bit lucky. Their shot was particularly lucky, I would say. We're talking to the room here. What do we want to say? I think we just want to pump the fists a little bit. And we have been the better team, so let's go for it. I don't know how the players reacted to that. Didn't seem to flash up with much. But let's get out there into this second half. They're saying our short passes are connecting well, which is nice. Throw in from Alvarez. It's a long, deep one into the area. It's come to Sean Longstaff on the edge, and Sean Longstaff has made it 2-1. A beautiful strike right on that angle there, just off the corner of the 6-yard box. We're getting a different view here from the director cam. Headed out, Sean Longstaff with the touch round Højbjerg, and Hugo Lloris may as well have not been there. It was so far in the top corner. Beautiful stuff from the team. We are absolutely in control of this game as Alvarez goes for the long throw. Lloris can only punch it. Hayden is out there looking for a brace. Instead, Longstaff to Alvarez, edge of the area, goes inside. It's pinball in there. And unfortunately, despite 3 bites of the cherry, we weren't able to make it 3-1. Lewis now with the long throw. They're causing havoc. Edouard is denied by Lloris on the line. Fraser can't get the ball back across. He tries again, but it's gone out for a corner. I'm loving the new interface this year. This is a wonderful interface. Takes a bit of getting used to, but I'm a big fan. And Lascelles nearly scores there. We're keeping that attacking mentality going, and we are causing chaos in the Spurs box. Alvarez here launches it forward, but it's given away to Bale. We have to be nervy. They've got the players who can make the difference with one opportunity. Saint-Maximin with the tackle. That's why he's the favourite son of Newcastle at the moment. Ball goes forward. Gareth Bale charging inside, and that is one of the worst shots you'll see from Gareth Bale, which just trickles out wide. Now we are smothering the game, but Spurs trying to come back in here. Darlow with a beautiful catch, trying to make a claim for the number 1 spot, and he's released Callum Wilson as well, who's in behind the defender, 1-on-1 with the keeper. And I hope this isn't another year where the first 3 months of Football Manager are strikers missing 1-on-1 situations. We just need to check in on the team. Some players are just lacking fitness. With this tactic, it's always the central midfielders and fullbacks who struggle. So we might just want to make a few changes. Now, I'm not entirely sure how we do make changes. I wonder if it's through this function here. I think I'd like to take Isaac Hayden off. Who can we bring on? We do have Jeff Hendrick available. Let's maybe go. He is in the box-to-box midfielder role, so I think probably Jonjo is the better shout there. Does that automatically make the substitution? It looks like it does. Now I might want to just go to a cautious mentality. We've also got other changes we can make here. Jamal Lewis not having the best game at left back, so why don't we have a look if we've got an option down there. We actually don't. We do have Kieran Clark available. But I don't really want to change the central defenders if I can help it. And they're pretty fit and happy anyway. We could look at Saint-Maximin, maybe Ryan Fraser could come off. We could give Vilka a game, which is exactly what we're going to do. The youngster coming on for his debut here. Yellow cards being handed out. We've got 4 of them at the moment. Spurs with 1. We are 5 minutes away from a massive win as Lewis throws that one in, and it's taken by Lloris. I just want to bring that camera height down a little bit. I don't like it being too high. This is a much better angle as Son goes on the charge. He beats the fullback. He's coming across. It's blocked off well. Alvarez away. Now Lewis to Saint-Maximin. Can we counter? He takes it out into the space. Ball over the top available, but Shelvey goes across. Longstaff back over to Saint-Maximin, who beats Doherty. Byline, and it's saved. Maybe Callum Wilson was a better option there instead of going for goal. Let's see what happens with this highlight, and then we're going very defensive because this would be a massive win in our first game. But Ben Davies trying to do something about it. Vlika onto Edouard. It's in behind for Callum Wilson. He's got support. He's doing it on his own. He plays it through, but Doherty with the interception. Alvarez onto Vilca again. Now Alvarez once more beats the defender. Back to Edouard. And Odsonne Edouard, the £31 million striker, makes it 3-1 with a beautiful effort from outside the box. This is an enormous victory for us against a resurgent Spurs side. What a strike from Odsonne Edouard on his debut in front of the Newcastle fans to make it 3-1. And we are 5 minutes away from a huge win as Vlika goes on the attack. Wilson carrying a knock, but Vlika keeps going. Shelvey finds Edouard over to Saint-Maximin, and it's becoming an absolute rout. Saint-Maximin with the goal. We can even bring Yannick Touré on, the youngster, for a bit of game time. But Vlika here, run into the edge. Shelvey into Edouard. Just laid it off, and Saint-Maximin with Lloris out of position made it 4-1. And this is a beautiful way to start the new series. A 4-1 victory over Spurs. I mean, we've defied the expected goals, but what a big win. Look at that expected goals tally just running away from Spurs as it fired up and up and up. Spurs stayed pretty flat in that second half. They had a good incline in the first, but it just tailed off in the second. Fantastic team ratings, certainly down this side of the pitch. Callum Wilson and Hayden doing well again, but those stats are wonderful as well. 13 efforts on target to Spurs' 3 and 61% possession against a much better team. So, you know, the idea of us getting relegated suddenly looks extremely unlikely. We're going to go for that look good. Everybody's inspired and motivated, as you would be after a win like that. And next up, we have Harrogate Town in the Carabao Cup. That is an enormous victory. It takes us right to the top of the table. The best win on the opening day of the season. Absolutely wonderful stuff by the team. What a way to start the new series. Now, looking ahead at where we might pick up next time, it's actually a while until we play any really big teams, so I'm tempted to do the Chelsea and Liverpool game in the next episode, but I think I want to check in a little bit earlier than that. We could look to maybe pick up after the game against Brighton. Obviously we're not in Europe, so the seasons won't take too long to run through, but I am wondering if maybe we do the Chelsea and Liverpool games up next. I think it will depend on how we get on. If we have a struggling start to the season after that big win, we'll probably pick up just after the end of the transfer window against Everton and Wolves. Otherwise we'll go to Chelsea and Liverpool. But if you enjoyed this episode, do drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more episodes from this season. But until next time, see ya.